This is Rebecca, Miss PR, and you are joining us today on Get Your Life right here on Blaze Up Radio brought to you by Truluminati.com. Today, we are going to talk about, once again, entertainment business imposters. Week 1, we discussed mismanagement and all the managers in the industry, how to identify a false one, how to identify a real one, any warning signs. Then week 2, we discussed booking agents and promoters, all the different tactics that the false promoters and booking agents will use, and how to identify the real ones as well. Now today we're going to discuss imposters on the topic of artists. Now I'm sure that people out there are wondering, how can an artist be an imposter? Well, we have a special guest today, and his name is Rest Rico, and we decided to bring him in because he has a little bit of a history on, well, one artist in particular, but I'm sure he has some other stories. So welcome, Rest.
Yeah, how you doing? Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm formerly known as Rest to the world. Facebook knows me as Rest Rico because that's the film I have to provide a last name. So, but a little history on myself. I was an artist on a previous record label. It wasn't an official record label, but it's being run by an imposter. Basically, this man is utilizing information that he pretty much can give, or anybody can give, and say about themselves, and get some kind of documentation quoting that. And person I'm referencing is Tyler Simpson, also known as GT Shotta. He claims he's a Billboard chart reggae artist, the only reggae artist with Wu-Tang, this and the third. That's all completely false. This man has literally leached his way into the music industry and has ran into quite a few official people to kind of give him an idea of what it is to be an artist, or what it is to run a label, or what it is to promote or produce other artists. And in the scheme of things, he managed to utilize that as a tool for his own needs. Basically, inspiring or raising ambition for a successful career. If he sees that in a young artist or an ambitious artist, he preys on that. And what I mean by that is that you being an artist, you being so hungry to get into the game, you don't even care how. And with him being able to show you a couple of website links and different media information that anybody can, like I said, post about themselves if they're not really doing the research.
Right.
But you kind of mystified, and whatever else he says to you, it goes without question because you've already been able to validate the few pieces of bullshit that he's passed on to you. Now he'll tell you off the rip that he has his own key to the city in Middletown. So the key to the city is out from '06, and some little ass kid from school with a good science project can get a key to the city.
And what does a key to the city help you open anyway?
Huh?
What does a key to the city help you open anyway?
The key to the city doesn't do anything but give you recognition for that city.
Right.
I mean, Middletown is Middletown, Ohio. Like, it's not relevant in the hip-hop world or the reggae world in that matter. So the fact that he has a key in a town where the population of black people or Guyanese people, as he claims to be, is like 2, what are you really doing out there? Nothing. You're not doing anything out there. Nobody knows you. You're not relevant to anybody. But when you come around, you got your airbrush Guyanese shoes on, you got your dreads and, your mohawk style haircut or whatever you think you got going on, and you're fooling people with plastic chains and fuzzy green jewelry. So in the nighttime, that's all glossy and shining, and yeah, you living up to the hype. But then you're using people in the process to get certain things to make you look even more better, because these are the same people who are not doing their research, who are willing to do everything first without asking questions.
Or like really good
out immediately.
Right. Like really good con man do, though, he has done, he's infiltrated the internet and takes a lot of pictures and schmoozes women and gets people to pay for things like con men do. So when you go and you do just a simple Google search, if you don't click on anything and you just look at everything that pops up, you would be fooled and think that it was legitimate. Now, if you start to click on those links, you start to see that even the MTV site that says that he has up there that says he's on MTV, when you click on it, there's no bio there. There's no information there. They don't recognize him. And what most artists don't understand is you can set up your own profile on MTV. You can set up your own profile on Billboard. So even on Billboard, when you click on Billboard, it shows nothing. Nothing for him. Actually, I think it shows an album in 2005. The This Is Not a Game. But they don't recognize him as a Billboard artist, as somebody who's an award-winning anything. But you would actually have to go a little deeper.
That's totally fabricated. His name and the word Billboard don't even belong in the same sentence, first of all. Okay? He made that up in hopes that, that would gain him some notoriety. He say he's Grammy nominated. First of all, if you're Grammy nominated, why the fuck would you appear at the Grammys that you're being nominated for? That's just my first question. Second question, if you're this big Billboard chart hit in person and everything else like that, how is you qualifying for food stamp assistance and that's still getting delivered to your old address? You running around with black cars, Lexuses, this, that, and the third, and you doing things so big about to drop house parties and you're flying all over the country, my nigga, but your legal name, Tyler Simpson, has SNAP assistance in the state of Kentucky.
So, wait a minute. So what you saying is that GT doesn't have a mansion?
A mansion? Oh my God. Excuse me. But a mansion would be so far out of what GT has. GT doesn't have a pocket piston nor a window to throw it out. GT Shotta is currently living with his baby mama. Okay? His baby mama, in fact, that he has on child support, who has to pay him. So he don't work. He take care of the baby, or that's what he claims that he's doing all full time. Then his son, he receives a Social Security check because his son's mother passed away. So now you got a man who literally is a social media whore to the extent that all he does is surf the web, personify the bullshit that he has. He can live a lavish lifestyle in social media, making what, 5, 6, 7, maybe 800 a month, tax free. He ain't got to pay to nobody. He just go from couch surfing with his baby mom.
Mm.
So yeah, he can do whatever he wants. But what can he do for an artist? He can't do shit for you. And that's the part that's so dangerous. Is a lot of these artists, they're so eager and they're so thirsty for notoriety that a nigga like that telling you that you got it, of course you're gonna cash out because he got the dream, he got the master plan. He's showing you everything that you can have. He's making you believe the facade. But when you really get to know the nigga, he ain't nothing but a food stamp swiping, baby diaper changing fuck nigga who was looking to milk your pockets.
So let's give a little bit of history, because I know that we encounter this as well when we expose falsehood and even doing this segment on imposters. There's been people that like to talk shit and think that we just want to talk shit and badmouth people, when really we're trying to expose the false and bring things to the light and let people protect themselves. So in regards to this artist who is not for real, who claims that he's a part of Wu-Tang, who can push speed dial and act like he's calling them, and everybody is fooled by what he does. How did your relationship come about with him? What were the things that he said to sell you on him? And then what started happening to come to light to where you said, you know what, something's not right?
To be honest with you, I was never sold to him, you know, and I say that because it was what his associates had to offer that enticed me to become a part of his label, because I knew as well as he knew that if I didn't partner with him, I wouldn't have been able to get in touch with the people who I'm in touch with now. So let's just rewind it to about 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago, I'm a part of the whole Brooklyn Zoo movement, Zoo Bullies, you know, led up by Buddha Monk, you know, and that's going great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had our shows, we was doing our moves, we got our mixtape all together, blah, blah, blah. So I'm in Ohio, Shotta's in the area. We end up linking up, doing a show. He's like, yeah, I see you fuck with my Wu fam, this, that, and third. Now, mind you, I didn't know this nigga from Adam. He coming at me about all this Wu fam, this, that, and third shit. So some lame ass nigga in the camp is over here co-signing this nigga's bullshit. So I'm looking at it like, all right, well, this is somebody else from the camp saying the nigga's all right. So I never questioned it. Now, being a loyal nigga, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna look into shit like that, and that's what he preys on. The fact that he'll make you seem as if he's real, he's keeping it straightforward with you, or he's being brutally honest with you, and he don't have nothing to hide, and he's showing you everything that he's living. But that's all part of the sales pitch. The sales pitch is basically to catch you into the trap. And when he can figure out what he can get from you or how he can manipulate you to do what he wants, then you're trapped and forever believing his bullshit until you call him on his bullshit. Now, when me and Shotta was together, we was working on my first album, and we was constructing it. We was in a partnership with Forever Humble Productions. Now, if you look on his Batman video, it will show you that it was produced by Forever Humble Productions, which are legitimate people who are doing legitimate business. Now, they came along, GP Shotta, because, of course, he fucking puffed himself up like a peacock and made himself look so fucking valuable to them that, yeah, okay, we got a Wu-Tang affiliate, we call certain people who claim to have known of him, that's good enough for us to do a project with him. So, boom, they do a project with him. I'm already working on beats with the company, getting my album ready. I've got global distribution set up through iTunes, Spotify, you name it, over 126 countries. This is the negotiation that I decided to make the decision to sign with him. It had nothing to do with the contract that he initially offered, because the contract that my contract was consisting of was going to be revised based on the unification of the two companies. So, beginning to the process of talking about other business ventures with Forever Humble Productions, there comes up a conversation about a television series starring Tracy Bingham and her family. Tracy Bingham is the only black female from Baywatch, and we were writing like a real life sitcom, not a sitcom, but like a surreal life TV show, basically stripped it out on day-to-day things that they would do, and, you know, how the storyline would play out.
Right.
So I wrote the whole first season for that. That was another reason why I was enticed with dealing with him. And again, this is nothing he had to offer per se. These are the people he was associating with at the time.
Right.
So,
and to point out that a lot of con men can have good connections because they are, in fact, con men. It doesn't mean they have anything going for themselves, but they can have 1 to 10 good connections. And so, yeah, within their network, because that they haven't burned the bridge on yet.
Right, and that's how they keep themselves in that professional look. You know, they have certain people who can still validate them, but they haven't begun to ask the questions yet. Prime example, he released a song or a remix featuring myself, produced by...
This is DJ C Alpha. You just finished listening to part 1 with special guest Russ Rico of Entertainment Business Impostors. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up here shortly with Russ Rico, exposing frauds on Get Your Life.